Our second speaker is Mr. B.T. Yogesh. He is a senior manager in Global Regulatory Affairs, Herbalife Private Limited. He heads a regulatory department and taking care of all product regulatory compliances for licensing and developing annual strategy of product registration and follow up with the various authorities to achieving the timeline. He is a part of industry association meetings for regulation advocacy. He is a liaison with the interdisciplinary groups such as R&D, PPIC production, purchase, so as to productively contribute to the marketing requirements. He holds a master degree in chemistry from Mysore University. He possesses different qualities like analytical skills, good interpersonal skills, initiative, and drive for the success, ability to work in team, inquisitiveness for learning and punctuality. He is trained as an internal auditor as per ISO by QVC Certification Services Private Limited for quality management systems and cosmetic GMP. We welcome you, sir. Mr. BT Yogesh is going to speak about regulatory compliances. Now, I request all of you to help me to give an enthusiastic welcome for Mr. Gaurav and BT Yogesh. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Over to you.
I think so. Most of the speakers have already spoken about the nutrition and the importance of the nutrients in the current scenario. So I have just prepared a basic regulatory compliance, what is required to one who is handling the foods as a nutraceutical or maybe a conventional food or a general food. So one should keep in their mind is a compliance is a major point, like important point to make sure that the safety of the product for the consumers and the quality of the product is important for the consumers. Okay, so I'll just share my page. I will just give me 1 minute. You all can see my page.
Yes, sir, we can.
Okay, thank you. So here I have captured only a basic information about the Indian food regulations. One should aware about what are the major requirement to make sure the product is in safe for the consumer. Okay, this is the regulatory compliances for food, wherein I've captured only basic information. Okay,
Excuse me, sir, sorry to interrupt. Can you please run slideshow? It would be better for
okay.
audience to, yeah.
So regulatory compliances mean conforming to a set of rules, guidelines, or law. So it is an important objective of every food business operator. It means it describes the goal that organization aspire to achieve in their efforts to ensure that they are aware of and take steps to meet and comply with relevant laws, rules, guidelines, and regulations. Regulations, regulators, and according to organizations vary among different fields. For example, for food, there will be FSSAI GMP, HACCP for hazard analysis and critical control point. For the food and beverages manufacturing industry is critical. In some cases, other compliances frameworks are also standard may be applied to make sure the products are meeting the consumer need. So in case we can adapt a Indian pharmacopoeia, Ayurvedic Pharmacopoeia of India, Bureau of Indian Standards, Quality Standards of Indian Medicinal Plants, Indian Council of Medical Research, British Pharmacopoeia, United States Pharmacopoeia, Codex Alimentarius, and JICFA. These are all the standard references given by FSSAI to make sure our products are in line with the standard requirement. Okay, it might be most of the people are aware that till 2006 there was no such regulations available. In 2006, FSSAI brought in a Food Safety Act, which says about a basic regulation is that food adulteration, that is to avoid the food is not having any contaminant or any adverse impact on the consumer. So till 2011, this was the PFA Act was there. So to in this period, there are many food industries are coming and they are preparing their own food and offering to the consumer, but there are no such standard or regulatory compliance were there. Only the PFA and basic registration was there. Looking at the demand and the upcoming industry, the Authority also thought that there should be an available regulation in place, so they brought food safety and standard rules in 2011. So, and there was 2011 was the initial year they brought in a regulation to make sure that food which is processed and offered to the consumer are safe. So in 2011 they brought a labeling regulation and food competitive additive regulation, registration regulation they brought in. Slowly FSSAI started bringing in a new upcoming regulations. One after that, 2015 they brought a new regulation called as a nutraceutical regulation, which covers health supplement, nutraceutical, FSDU, that is the food for special dietary purposes, food for special medical purposes, food for no a novel food or specialty foods. Those named as a health supplement, they brought in 2016, effective from 2017. These are all the basic updates from the regulation. Wherever I highlighted in the bold color, bold font, these are the main important regulation one should aware about the food industry or the food business operators. So here again, these are also the major regulations which FSSAI brought in. Recently, they brought one of the recent regulation, that food safety and standards advertising claims regulations. So it means every food, processed food, cannot have a claims unless it is a scientifically validated. So now, if anybody make a products and made a advertisement without having a scientific backup, this will be leading to the misleading claims. So this is one of the major objective need to be considered who is food business operator, the manufacturer. So I'm just going to touch upon the basic act. The Food Safety and Standard Act 2016 is act to consolidate the laws relating to food and to establish the Food Safety and Standard Authority of India for laying down science-based standards for article of food and to regulate their manufacture, storage, distribution, sale or import, to ensure availability of safe and wholesome food for human consumption and for matters connected therewith, incidental thereto. So, Prevention of Food Adulteration Act 1954. There are the standards: fruit products order, meat or food products order, vegetable oil products, edible oils packaging, solvent extracted oil such as milk and milk products. So there are salient features of the act is to ensure that all food meets consumers' expectation in terms of mature nature, substance, and quality, and is not misleading presents. To provide legal powers and specify offences in relation to public health and consumers' interest, to shift from regulatory regime to shelf compliances through food safety management system, science-based standards, proprietary food, novel food, genetically modified food, health supplements, nutraceutical, etc., brought into the ambit of the new act. Scope of the act: the act covers activities throughout the food distribution chain, from primary production through distribution to retail and catering, and includes all petty food businesses as well. The act gives us a government powers to make regulations on matters of food safety. The Food Safety and Standards Authority of India is the principal government authority responsible for preparing specific regulations and under the act. The functions of authority, section 16. So to regulate, monitor the manufacturer, processing, distribution, sale and import of food to ensure its safety and wholesome meals. To specify standard guidelines for food articles, limits for food additives, contaminants, veterinary drugs, heavy metals, mycotoxin, irradiations of food, processing aids, mechanisms and guidelines for accreditation of certifications, bodies engaged in FSMS certification, quality control of imported food, specify food labeling standards including claims on health, nutrition, special dietary uses and food category systems, scientific advice and technical support to central or state governments. So regulatory enforcement at state level and local jurisdictions. There are different level of enforcement officers. A food safety officer who look after the food available in the market to collect the sample and test to evaluate and to make sure that the products are available in the markets are meeting the regulatory compliances. And there will be a food analyst. A food analyst will be in the from the analytical laboratory. A designated officer is in charge of the one of the jurisdiction to look after the foods. Accredited laboratory, again, laboratories are which are approved by FSSAI. Referral laboratories, again, a parallel laboratory approved by FSSAI. Food Safety Commissioner, who is appointed by Government of India. Adjudicating officer, again looking after the sample and analytical allegations, and appellant tribunals, special court for this if any such cases arises. Roles of states per the Act. So, roles and responsibility of Food Safety Commissioner prohibit in the interest of public health the manufacture, storage, distribution, or sale of any article of food. Carry out survey inspection of the food processing units in the state to find out complaints of prescribed standards. Conduct training programs for the personnel engaged in food safety. Ensure efficient and uniform implementation of the standards and other requirements of food safety. Sanction prosecution for offences punishable with imprisonment under the Act. The roles and responsibility of designated officers. Issue or cancel license of food business operator. Prohibit sale in contravention of the Act. Receive report and samples of articles of food from food safety officer and get them analyzed. Make recommendation to the Commissioner of Food Safety for sanction to launch prosecutions. Sanction prosecutions. Maintain record of all inspection made by food safety officers. Get complaints investigated in respect of any contravention of the provisions of this Act or against FSO. Roles and responsibilities of food safety officer. Taking samples of food intended for sale. Seize any article of food which appears to be in the contravention of the Act. Enter and inspect any place where food is manufactured or stored for sale. May, after giving notice, cause unsafe food destroyed. Seize any adulterated food found in prosecution of a manufacturer or distributor. Can be penalized for harassment of business operator. So, such as there is a provision for penalizing complaint for false complaint. Okay, so enforcement of the provisions of the Act. I'm just taking a few points here from the Enforcement Act. As per the Section 31 of the Food Safety Act 2006, lays down licensing and registration conditions which are compulsory for operating any food business in India. Any person desirous to commence or carry out any food businesses shall make an application to grant a license to the designated officer along with prescribed application fee. In case a license is not issued within 60 days from the date of making the application or his application is not rejected, the applicant may start his food business after expiry of the said period. So it means here, if anybody, if he's operating a food business, one should have a license. He can make an application. If application is not processed or issued within 60 days, the applicant can start his business. By default, it is understood that license have been accepted. The provision of obtaining a license for carrying on any food businesses shall not apply to a petty retailer, hawker, internet vendor, or a temporary stall holder, or small scale or cottage, or such other industries relating to food businesses or tiny food business operator, but they shall have to obtain registration with the designated officer. So, licensing and registration of food businesses, how it will process. A registering authority, a food safety officer or any official in panchayat, municipal corporation, or any other local body in the area notified as such by the state food safety commissioner for the purpose of registration. A state licensing authority designated officer is an appointed under the section 36(1) of the Act by the food safety commissioner of a state or union territory for the purpose of licensing and monitoring. Central licensing authority, a designated officer appointed by the chief executive officer of the FSSAI in his capacity of food safety commissioner. Licensing and registration of the food businesses is again registered. Registration is required for the food business operator who a manufacturer or sells any article of food himself, or a petty retailer, hawker, itinerant vendor, or temporarily stall holder, or a such food business operator including small scale or cottage or tiny food businesses with an annual turnover not exceeding rupees 12 lakh and are whose a production capacity of food other than milk and milk products and meat products does not exceed 100 kg per liter per day, or production or procurement or collection of milk is up to 500 liters of milk per day, or a slaughtering capacity is 2 large animals or 10 small animals or 50 poultry birds per day or less than that is required a registration or license. Central license required for the food business operator whose. So there are two kind of license will be issued by state and the central license. So far I have explained about the state licensing. Now it will be a central license. A dairy units including milk chilling units process more than 50,000 liters of liquid milk per day or 2,500 metric ton of milk solid per annum is required a central license. Vegetable oil processing units having installed capacity more than 2 metric ton per day. All slaughterhouses equipped to slaughter more than 50 large animals or 150 or more small animals or 1,000 or more poultry birds per day. Meat processing units equipped to handle or process more than 500 kg of meat per day or 150 metric ton per annum. All food processing units other than mentioned above having installed capacity more than 2 metric ton per day. 100% export oriented units. All importers importing food items for commercial use. All food business operators manufacturing any article of food which does not fall under any of the food categories prescribed under these regulations or deviates in any way from the prescribed specification for additives therein. Retail chains operating in 3 or more states. Food catering services in establishments and units under the central government agencies like railways, air and airport, seaport, defense, etc. are required to take a license from central authority. Okay, how the operations will happen? Adjudication and food safety tribunals. Adjudicating officer, state government to notify adjudicating officer not below the rank of additional district magistrate. A food safety appellant tribunal have a capacity of central government or state government may notify the establish one or more tribunals known as food safety appellant tribunals. Special courts. Central government or state government may constitute special courts for trial of offences relating to a grievous injury or death of the consumer. Enforcement of the Act. Adjudicating officer of the state government can impose penalty for offences, shall have the powers of civil court, central or state governments to establish one or more tribunals to attend to appeals, one member tribunal called presiding officers, power to establish special courts for expediting hearing for offences relating to a grievous injury or death, offences causing food to be injurious, abstracting any constituent, deliberating adulteration, non-conformance in label information, etc. Penalties for such incidences: substandard food up to rupees 5 lakh, misbranded up to rupees 3 lakh, misleading advertisement up to rupees 10 lakh, food with extraneous matter up to rupees 1 lakh, fail to meet the requirements as directed by FSO up to 2 lakh, unhygienic, unsanitary preparations up to 1 lakh, adulterant not injurious to health is up to 2 lakh, adulterant injurious to health up to 10 lakh. So penalties again: unsafe food but does not cause immediate injury is 6 months imprisonment with fine of rupees 1 lakh. Unsafe food causing non-grievances injury, 1 year imprisonment with fine up to rupees 3 lakh. Compensation in case for injury up to rupees 1 lakh. Causing grievous injury, 6 years imprisonment with fine up to rupees 5 lakh. Compensation in case for grievous injury, fine up to rupees 3 lakhs. Causing death, 7 years or life imprisonment and fine of rupees 10 lakh. Compensation in case of death up to rupees 5 lakh minimum. So these are the basic regulatory compliances requirement I have captured. Regulatory compliance is a vast subject, may not be possible to cover in 20 minutes time. It's required at least a day to cover complete regulatory requirements. So if anybody have any question, I'm happy to answer.
Thank you, Mr. Yogesh. So I really appreciate for giving for your talk in which you have gave us intricacies of regulatory compliance, which is mandatory for any food industry. Okay.